Biden had to stand up in the courtroom and hear the verdict, guilty, 3 federal felonies. His father, the president, is visiting Rehoboth, Delaware, where Hunter is tonight. And I don't begrudge Mr. Biden that. I would do the same thing if it were my son. There were some questionable things said by President Biden. I'll get into that. But all in all, you want to stand by your family members if you can. So Hunter Biden will be sentenced September or October. He's not going to prison. He'll get a slap on the wrist, probably community service, some probation, that kind of thing. Exactly what Donald Trump will most likely receive as well. Now, this is not unexpected. I know people were speculating about Delaware juries and all that, but look, Hunter Biden's guilty. Everybody knew it. His own words said it. They couldn't let him off. His lawyers played the substance abuse excuse, as I wrote in the message of the day on BillO'Reilly.com this morning, but it absolutely didn't work. Look, compassionate people do feel sorry for drug and alcoholics, drug addicts, but you cannot excuse them hurting other people because they're addicted, have a disease. You can't excuse it. That's ridiculous. That's anarchy. Hunter Biden actually got his girlfriend addicted to crack cocaine. He gave her the substance time after time, and she became an addict. Hunter Biden has a 5-year-old daughter now, he's sober, okay, that he doesn't see according to the daughter's mother. Totally ignores the little girl. In lieu of that, the Biden family, we're so proud of Hunter, the man he is today. Well, the man he is today, and there's been no pushback on this, totally ignores his 5-year-old daughter. That's worse than the gun felonies, in my opinion. Okay, the gun thing is just stupid. You know, he deserves to pay a price for it, to send a message, but 5-year-old girl, 5-year-old daughter, and you don't do anything for her? No. No, I'm not proud of that. I'd never be proud of that, and I wouldn't say anything. In fact, but the Biden family is a different entity. They go about life in a far different way than traditional Americans do. So it's wrong to judge Joe and Hunter Biden as far as the long run is concerned. I don't know what's in their hearts. All I know is what I can see. And what I can see is not good. Maybe extenuating circumstances with the jury, as I said no, he did it. He's going to pay a price. Now, President Biden, one more thing, says, well, we're going to appeal. Appeal what? Don't you understand, Mr. President, that this whole thing is embarrassing to your family? Your son should have pleaded this out and avoided that trial. You said, I did it. I'll take my punishment. What is this? What's the matter with you people? I mean, just on a embarrassment. You know, why go through the appeal? Appeal what? He did it. Does it matter? No. But you can't have drug addicts lying on applications for guns. You just can't. You're the big gun guy, aren't you, Mr. President? Oh, we don't want any guns. Well, your son was a crack addict and he lied on a form, so you should say, okay, got what he deserved. Now, Hunter Biden is the first presidential child ever to be convicted of a crime in this country while his father was in office, or her father. Okay. I think Alice Roosevelt, Teddy's daughter, was close, but it was low-level stuff, as you'll read in Confronting the Presidents. Alice was lively, let's just put it that way. All right, so that's the Hunter Biden, Joe Biden story for today. We'll have a follow-up tomorrow when I accumulate more information about it. The Talking Points memo is an important one tonight because it has to do with Donald Trump's main deficit, the main thing against him that may prevent him from being president. Okay, it is the January 6th controversy. So as you know, the Democrats and some independents believe that Donald Trump incited January 6th. He wanted violence. He wanted a riot. He wanted all that. The evidence shows that is false, and I'm going to produce the evidence tonight. However, it's going to be a campaign issue, no matter what. It's the big thing that they're going to hit Trump with right between the eyes. Okay, so let's walk through this. The week before January 6, 2021, everybody knew that there was going to be a large pro-Trump demonstration. President knew, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi knew, Mayor of D.C. knew, National Guard knew, cops knew, everybody knew. Okay? So what should have happened is that everybody was on high alert. And the National Guard would called in ahead of time to protect not only the Capitol, but other key places in Washington. That's what should have happened. It did not. Remember, Donald Trump has not been charged with inciting insurrection or doing anything like that. So if there was direct evidence against him, as the Democrats purport, allege, that certainly would have been under Special Counsel Jack Smith's indictment, but it isn't. That's a key piece. Okay, so the first line of defense in D.C. is Mayor Muriel Bowser. All right, here's what she said before January 6, 2021. Quote, "To be clear, the District of Columbia is not requesting other federal law enforcement personnel and discourages any additional deployment without immediate notification to and consultation with the Metro Police Department, if such plans are underway." And then Bowser is quite clear that she did not want the National Guard on the streets of Washington. That's the first line of defense. The second line of defense is the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, who has direct supervision over the Capitol Police and the grounds of the Capitol. Donald Trump believes, and it's said, that he asked the Speaker if she wanted National Guard troops. Go.
I offered 10,000 people to the mayor of Washington, D.C., Nancy Pelosi, both of them, Nancy Pelosi and to the mayor of Washington, and they turned it down flat.
Okay, that's what Trump says. Now, up to this time, Pelosi hasn't said anything, but the new Speaker of the House, Hakeem Jeffries, a Democrat, has said that's not true. What Trump just said, what you just heard, is not true. Go.
Well, the fact that Kevin McCarthy continues to blame Speaker Pelosi is just such a sick and cynical act of diversion and distraction. We know that the person primarily responsible for the insurrection that occurred on January 6th is the former twice impeached President of the United States, Donald Trump, who incited that riot.
It seems that the Speaker of the House, Mr. Jeffries, is lying. And let me prove it now. Stay with me here. Nancy Pelosi has a daughter, Alexandra. She is a documentarian. She produced a film called The Insurrectionist Next Door. It was released October 15th, 2023, last October. The Insurrectionist Next Door, Alexandra Pelosi. In that documentary was an inflammatory statement by her mother. It was edited out of the documentary. No one saw it. But through the Freedom of Information Act, Congress got the clip that was edited out. The House Oversight Committee got it. Here is the clip. Nancy Pelosi on January 6, 2021, talking to her chief of staff, Terry McCullough. Go.
We have responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff that should we call the Capitol Police? I mean the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient resources.
No, that is not a question of how they have. They don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more.
Smoking gun. Again, her daughter, Pelosi's daughter, Alexandra, edited that out of the documentary so no one would see it or hear it. And it was only uncovered through a Freedom of Information Act request. That should be a huge story. Trump campaign should be running with that all day long. You heard about it? I bet you hadn't. I bet you the first time you heard and saw it was tonight on the No Spin News. Okay. At the same time, Pelosi was admitting that she made a huge mistake, the Democratic leader of the Senate, Chuck Schumer, was saying this. Go.
They have not denied it. All right. I spoke to the Secretary of the Army. He's given a full okay to give the National Guard. He said it was not denied. I'm going to call up the effing Secretary of DOD.
All right. So Schumer didn't know what was going on. It wasn't like he was coordinating with Pelosi. And he still, to this day, Schumer, doesn't know what's going on. There's no clue, because he doesn't want to know. All right. Now, we investigated this way back when, all right? And we ran a soundbite on January 4th, 2022, from a guy named Kash Patel, all right? Kash Patel was the chief of staff in the Pentagon under President Trump. He was the liaison between the White House and the Pentagon. We interviewed Mr. Patel right here. Go. Donald Trump said, hey, on the 5th of January, I called the defense secretary and asked that he suggest that 10,000 Guard troops be moved to Washington. And that's true. We confirm that. You know that's true, right?
Yeah, I was in the Oval Office when we had that conversation with the President of the United States and the Secretary of Defense. And not only was it 10,000, it was 10 to 20,000.
Okay, and that is the reason that Jack Smith, the Democrat special counsel, did not charge Donald Trump with insurrection or any of that. Okay? So now you know the truth. As Paul Harvey once said, the rest of the story. But this goes on because in the next 4 months, you are going to hear charges from Democrats, probably from Biden himself, and it might happen at the debate, that Trump was responsible and wanted the violence that happened at the Capitol on January 6th. You're going to hear it over and over and over and over. And every time you hear it, in your mind should be 3 letters, L-I-E. There is no doubt now. There's no two sides to the story anymore. That is what happened. Now, to be fair, because that is my job, Donald Trump made a major mistake in not acting quickly enough to condemn that riot. And still to this day, he goes out and says that the protesters who broke in weren't all that bad, or whatever words he uses. That is a mistake. Number one, he should admit, yes, I didn't act quickly enough. I didn't. And I'm sorry. I should have acted quicker, but it was confusing. I was getting all kinds of different reports. So it took me more time than it should to make a decision. He should admit it, because the American people would forgive that. Wouldn't you? I mean, with all the chaos that was going on, he did not act quickly enough. Just tell that to the American people. But he wasn't behind it. He didn't want it. And now we have the proof thanks to Alexandra Pelosi. And I don't give her credit because she tried to hide the truth and protect her mother from the American people. And that is the memo. You want to comment? Bill@BillO'Reilly.com. Bill@BillO'Reilly.com. Name and town if you wish to opine. By the way, one footnote to this, because I'm a historian. The National Guard showed up at the Capitol at 5:40 p.m., 4 hours after the initial protesters broke in. Boy. Sorting through your expense tracking, estimated payments, and all those tax deductions can be overwhelming. It might even lead to a failure to file and failure to pay penalties that pile up on your tax debt. The attorneys at Tax Network USA have been lifesavers for many. Their team has successfully saved clients over $1 billion in tax debt. Whether you're in the hole for $10,000 or starting at a $10 million debt, they are ready to help you. The expert attorneys and tax professionals at Tax Network USA are equipped to secure the best settlement for you and help you resolve all tax cases. So please go to tnusa.com/bill, or you can call 1-800-245-6000. These tax debt relief programs are expected to change, so get to them now. Visit tnusa.com/bill or call 800-245-6000. Tell them O'Reilly sent you. Okay, Clarence Thomas. Boy. All right, he is probably the most conservative judge on the court, age 75. I don't know him. He has taken in $4 million in gifts over his 20-year career on the court. All right, and the latest is his friend Harlan Crow, big real estate guy in Dallas, paid for him to go and his wife to go to Bali, and then other stuff and this and that. All right, this is not good. I don't care who you are. And the second most guy who took gifts was the late Justice Scalia. He took $176,000 in gifts in 20 years. Compare that to Thomas taking $4 million. Supreme Court needs to write new guidelines for itself and put those public. And then more new disclosure and all of that. Every year you got to disclose what you take. We can't have this. Now, I don't think Tom is going to be prosecuted or booted or anything like that. I don't think he violated anything, but they need new directions there. Can't be taking all that stuff. Smart life. Okay, so the sedentary life of Americans catches up with you about age 60, 60. A lot of my friends. Right? If you're active and you're out and you have a regular exercise routine, you're much healthier. Now, that can't stop hereditary, can't stop sudden illness, can't. But on a general basis, the more you move it, the better you're going to feel and the fewer diseases you're going to encounter. This is general. So walking is the best. I mean, if you want to join a gym, join the gym. I can't. I mean, I can't be sweating on somebody over there, but I walk every other day, and I do a good clip, okay? I move it. But a lot of people, they don't do that. So here's how you start, and this is a smart life, all right? The first day, you just walk for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. You got to stretch a little, go outside, and if it's too hot, if you're in Vegas or Phoenix, down in Texas, Florida, you got to get a treadmill. Okay, so you stay in the air conditioning. You don't want to go out in the heat and get killed. But 5 minutes. And then the next day, maybe 7 minutes. Remember, it's every other day. And you work up to 30 minutes of walking. And you get the dopey headphones on. You listen to disco tunes or whatever you listen to, okay? And or a podcast. You can listen to a podcast on the headphones now. So you got diversion. It's not that boring. What I do is I walk up hills, all right? So I try to do 30 minutes. Sometimes it's 20, but I'm doing the hill thing. And you can feel your heart pumping. You can feel your breath shortening. And you just stretch it out. If you can get it to 30 minutes in a month, you start at 5 and you just work it up. And you do it every other day, that will improve your quality of life big time. Big time. All right? So that's a smart life. Another day, another news story buried. You know the game. The media pundits would rather talk about anything instead of what's really going on. So, the truth is behind the headlines. Take back control and prepare for what will come with My Patriot Supply. Since 2008, My Patriot Supply has helped millions of Americans get ready for the worst. Today, their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits flying out of the shelves. Get yours now at my website, preparelikebill.com. This kit offers more than 2,000 calories every day. Plus, with ultra-durable 4-layer packaging, it lasts up to 25 years. So order all the kits you need for $200 off each one, free shipping included. You've been warned about what could happen. Don't live in fear. Take back control of your future because this isn't just food, it's freedom. Stock up today at preparelikebill.com, preparelikebill.com. Being in debt is like sinking in quicksand. You become trapped. The harder you struggle, the deeper you sink. If you are trapped in debt, here is a lifeline. Done with Debt.com. Done with Debt has created a brilliant new strategy with one goal in mind: get you out of debt quickly and permanently. They stand between you and your bill collectors. They negotiate a plan to end your debt permanently, without bankruptcy and without loans. But you need to contact Done with Debt right away because some debt solutions expire and you don't want to miss out. Go to donewithdebt.com and get a free consultation. Talk with one of their experts and discover a strategy that will end your debt for good. That's donewithdebt.com. Again, donewithdebt.com. Okay, so the woman basketball player, Caitlin Clark, is in the pros now after a fabulous career at the University of Iowa. Not picked for the Olympics in Paris. Roll the tape.
What was your level of disappointment not hearing your name on the roster?
Honestly, no disappointment. Like, I think it just gives you something to work for. It's a dream. Hopefully one day I can be there. And I think it's just a little more motivation. You remember that, and hopefully in 4 years, when 4 years comes back around, I can be there.
It was a good statement. I'm not sure I believe her. I would have liked to have seen her on the team as, an alternate at least. I mean, it's good for the United States. So Ms. Clark signed a deal worth about $340,000. That's big money in the WNBA. The base salary of a rookie in the NBA, the men's league, is $12 million. But the women's league doesn't draw nearly as much, and they don't have the big TV money. And there's a lot of jealousy directed at Caitlin Clark. No, that's why she got pushed down about a week ago on the court. I don't know about the racial thing. I suspect it might be in play. But there's a lot of jealousy, and she seems to be handling it well. Keeping an eye on her. Fabulous player, no doubt about it. And she's elevated that league, the Women's National Basketball League. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News this evening. I hope you will digest the talking points memo because it's very, very important. You will see that nowhere else in this entire country, okay, which is why you're here, and we appreciate it very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.